Several areas in Texas, July 9, 2024.
This is Montrose.
Güey, ten cuidado, güey, porque se están uniendo las casas. ¿Cómo andas tú por allá?
Hurricane Beryl slammed into the Texas coast Monday morning, unleashing hurricane-force winds, widespread power outages, and flash flooding. The storm roared ashore, making landfall near Matagorda at 3:50 a.m. Central Time as a Category 1 hurricane with gusts over 80 miles per hour.
Here downtown, Buffalo Bayou's out of its banks. The water's rushing into downtown. You see him.
He's like, I like the hurricane. You see the big gator?
Talk about the gator?
Yeah, you see it?
Liv and I went for a boat ride.
Over 2.5 million electrical customers in Texas have already lost power, according to poweroutage.us. The storm first unleashed its fury on Surfside Beach, as Fox weather crews captured the winds whipping through trees, even breaking off part of a palm tree.
Quinn, oh shit. We in a fucking river, bro. It's up to my door.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember paying for beachfront property.
The storm's winds have also created a life-threatening storm surge that is inundating coastal communities, and it will only get worse just before 8 a.m. as high tide approaches.
Fucking shit. This is literally where the highway is meant to be. That is insane.
It's really bad. The Omni has flooded once again, even though
Houston will face dangerous weather conditions through the morning as the storm's center moves inland. Peak storm surge could reach up to 7 feet as the tide rises in the mid-morning, and areas such as Galveston Bay could see levels nearing 6 feet as water accumulates in the bay, the National Hurricane Center warns. As the powerful storm surge began to sweep into Surfside Beach with force, Fox weather crews found themselves in a precarious situation and had to quickly retreat to higher ground to ensure their safety. Unlike other coastal regions, the Texas coastline experiences longer high tides, the Fox Forecast Center said. This, combined with the extended duration of onshore wind, could keep water levels high for a couple of days. Numerous wind gusts topping 80 miles per hour will also continue through the midday hours. Houston will not escape the damaging wind threat either. The core of Beryl has already brushed the metro with 60-plus mph wind gusts. More than 2 million homes and businesses in the Houston area were without electricity, CenterPoint energy officials said.
You guys, this is crazy. Look how high the water is. Oh my god.
High water quickly closed streets. Houston officials said they had performed at least 15 high water rescues. But as the storm passed, people began getting out and exploring their neighborhoods to assess the damage. Houstonians are asked to stay in their homes and off the roadways as high water is affecting much of the area. Bayous and streams across the Houston area are overflowing as heavy rain continues, pushing water onto surrounding streets. Many have been inundated with over 5 inches of rain in the past 24 hours, with some surpassing 10 inches, according to data from the Harris County Flood Control District. In addition to flash flooding that has left roads soaked and littered with debris, some of the area's crucial conveyances of stormwater to the Gulf of Mexico are seething, including Clear Creek along the southern Harris County line. As a result of the high waters, officials pleaded with people to stay off roads, noting they have already performed more than 24 water rescues in Houston alone, mostly caused by people driving into floodwaters. As a result, the county avoided widespread structural flooding, although some streets near bayous became treacherous. White oak, especially at Heights Boulevard, spilled onto local streets. Buffalo Bayou in downtown Houston crept up toward buildings, but had not poured from the floodway surrounding it as of noon. By 2 p.m., levels were dropping. The county's flood warning system released alerts of potential flooding along dozens of waterways across the city, with rain falling at a pace of at least an inch every 15 minutes. Recent alerts spanned from South Maid Creek near Katy to the west through Patrick's Bayou by Deer Park in the east. Both the east and west forks of the San Jacinto River were also rising rapidly by mid-morning on Monday. Houston emergency responders have received at least 25 calls for water rescues since 6 a.m., according to police and fire logs. The rescues occurred across the city as Hurricane Beryl began to cross southeast Texas. Residents' calls came in addition to 4 others listed as unknown types of rescues, as well as several fires and gas leaks. Harris County Sheriff's Department also conducted at least 25 water rescues, Sheriff Edward Gonzalez said. None required a boat. Officials in unincorporated Brazoria and Fort Bend counties did not have updated counts, but reported dozens of water rescues along flooded roads and, in rare cases, from homes trapped by rising waters. Along White Oak Boulevard, where condominiums are tucked south of Woodland Heights along the popular Bayou trails, Harris County Constable Precinct 1 deputies donned emergency vests and waded through waist-high water to make sure residents in first-floor units were safe. While rains have mostly moved on, it will be some time before the true impact of the storm and inundation can be assessed, officials said. Flash flood warnings expired midday Monday for the Houston area, but water was still making its way to the Gulf in a steady, manageable way. If you go back to some of our other big floods, we're talking rainfall rates of 5-6 inches an hour, Lindner said. And we didn't see any of that today. I don't think we had rates over about 3 inches an hour. Lindner said Houston also benefited from going into the storm with relatively dry conditions. The direction of the storm helped, as well. Beryl moved from south to north, which can be less damaging than when the rainfall moves from west to east, Lindner said. May's devastating derecho storm moved west to east, but was also more destructive because of the wind, not the rain. Lindner said some structural flooding may have been prevented by Harris County's flood mitigation efforts, including the $480 million Project Braze that was completed in 2022. I was more concerned that we would have more structure flooding on Braze with the types of rainfall amounts we had, and that doesn't appear to be the case at this time, Lindner said. Beryl made landfall near Matagorda in the early morning hours as a Category 1 hurricane but weakened to a tropical storm a few hours later. On Monday evening, it was downgraded to a tropical depression. Authorities urged residents on Monday to stay put and hunker down as severe weather and hazardous road conditions impacted the area. Peak wind gusts of 84 miles per hour were measured at Hobby Airport and 78 miles per hour in Galveston. A 97 miles per hour wind gust was measured at SH-36 and Brazos. Major Houston highways have been left flooded, leaving cars stranded and prompting some rescues. Emergency crews were seen rescuing someone who was trapped on the roof of their submerged car on Highway 288 due to flooding. Neighborhoods are scattered with downed trees and other debris. In Fort Bend County, several families were left displaced when a section of their apartment building collapsed. A civilian employee of the Houston Police Department died after getting caught in floodwaters while driving to work. Also in North Harris County, a 73-year-old woman was killed when a tree fell through her home in Ponderosa Forest as the storm moved through the area. A tornado watch has been issued until 10 p.m. Monday for some southeast Texas counties, including Chambers, Liberty, Montgomery, Polk, San Jacinto, Trinity, and Walker. A tornado watch is when tornadoes are possible in and near the watch area. The watch area is typically large, covering numerous counties or even states. You should be prepared for an actual tornado during a tornado watch. Be ready to act quickly if a warning is issued or you suspect a tornado is approaching. Beryl formed as a tropical depression in the Atlantic more than 3,000 miles from Houston on June 28. It rapidly strengthened into a hurricane within the first 24 hours and intensified into a major hurricane within the next day. On July 2nd, it became the earliest Category 5 hurricane on record to form in the Atlantic. As it roared across the Caribbean, Beryl left behind a trail of damage. It weakened as it approached the Yucatan Peninsula, where it made landfall as a Category 2 hurricane near Tulum, Mexico, on July 5th. It further weakened as it moved across land, emerging into the Gulf as a tropical storm. It slowly regained strength before becoming a hurricane once again shortly before landfall in Texas.